On today's episode of the Leen Show, we get all into aliens, or specifically UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. We talk all about the congressional hearing that happened the other day in the United States. We talk about some quotes that came out about it. We talk about some of the information that's come out and just how crazy of a time we live in right now. We also talk about the Barbie and Oppenheimer box office successes and what that means for those striking. And we also play a little ChatGPT created or not created game with some Phish lyrics. That's really fun. So if you guys are interested in following us on Instagram or TikTok, we are at The Leen Show. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, please give us 5 stars. And thank you to Glazed Eyes for letting us use their single Way Down off their upcoming album for our intro and outro. And thank you guys for listening. And I look forward to the response to this episode. So here we go.
Say the things you want to say, but don't forget the role I used to play. When you feel defeated, like your heart's been cheated, just think about me like before.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Leen Show. This is episode 4 of the Leen Show. And Kathleen, I don't know if you heard the news, but aliens are real. Did you know that?
I did hear the news. Yeah, it's a crazy time to be alive. It's an official word.
But, I don't really care about that. Who cares? Ariana Grande stole a leprechaun's wife away from her. So that's way more relevant.
It's so insane. Yeah, so a couple of things to note. First thing I want to point out is this guy, and his name is, what is it? It's in my notes.
Ethan Slater?
Yeah,
Is that his name?
His name is Ethan Slater. And his claim to fame, which you probably know from seeing the TikToks, maybe you don't, but his claim to fame is he played SpongeBob in the Nickelodeon live-action play SpongeBob. No costumes.
Did he really?
Yes, and it wasn't like the, have you seen Lion King on Broadway?
No.
Okay, well, it wasn't like Lion King where they have, actual animal costumes and they are at least trying to look like animals and they're painted. He just had, a yellow button-down shirt with a tie and, was just playing SpongeBob. Just singing, playing SpongeBob. It's super cringe. If you get on TikTok, you'll see tons of clips of it. But, so essentially, that is his only claim to fame. Another thing to note is, and I have a picture of this, I'll send it to you. He literally looks exactly like Ariana Grande's brother. In a kind of creepy way. I'm dropping the link in the chat. And we'll toss a pic of this up in the YouTube video. But yeah, he looks pretty similar to her brother. So I think people are just confused about this for a lot of different reasons. It's a very cringe relationship. But ultimately, I think she's just getting hate because him and his wife, they didn't just have a kid together, but they have a small child together. And, classic, a month ago, he posted, this long gushing post about how good of a wife his wife is and how good of a mom she is and all this stuff. And next thing you know, it's just classic Ariana Grande relationship. He just leaves his wife completely and starts dating Ariana. Keeping in mind I had to take a water break, sorry. Keeping in mind that she was married for a year or two, her husband was Dalton Gomez, who was, if I'm correct, just some random like Hollywood real estate guy. He sold houses, he was big into real estate, and but he wasn't, a celebrity, he wasn't a big, famous person, anything like that. And she was very not secretive, but she was very private about their relationship. So nobody knew that they were dating. Nobody had any clue that they were dating. And next thing you know, she posted one thing that they were engaged and then they got married. And she basically never posted about him again. And so I guess my piece of it, and I think other people are saying this as well, is she definitely has a pattern of going after men that are either married or taken. And if you go all the way back to Mac Miller days, she was with Mac Miller, they broke up, there was tons of overlap with Pete, and a lot of people blamed Pete for, essentially Mac Miller's overdose because there were rumors that Pete Snapchatted Mac Miller a picture of him and Ariana together. And people were like, that sent Mac over the edge. Like, Pete sent Mac over the edge. There were a lot of, like, hateful accusations around that. But, so she gets with Pete, right? And Pete's girlfriend, who he'd been dating for, like, a couple of years. Like, I want to say it was, like, 6 or 7 years. Like, it was an actually, like a long time. Was like, yeah, me and Pete have been dating for years. And next thing I know, he's breaking up with me over text. And I see a picture of him and Ariana in the e-news the next day, or like online the next day. So obviously she then gets engaged to Pete. Her and Pete don't work out. She immediately starts dating and gets engaged to this Dalton guy. Her and Dalton, I guess, didn't work out. Now she's going after this, married man, Ethan, and I guess they're together, and now they're taking a break because he's getting so much hate for literally, like, people are like, you posted with your wife, like, just a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it was very close together. So I think they're taking a step back because of all the hate. So, interesting week for Ariana Grande. Maybe she's just doing it to get her name back out there. I mean, people are always going to like her music, but she hasn't really been in the news lately. I mean, she's doing Wicked. I've seen a little bit of stuff about that, but, I mean, she hasn't really been in the news. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Do you think her forehead has anything to do with this? Do you think guys just really see that forehead and they go, my wife? Whose wife?
Right.
I need her now.
And I think I texted you this, and we were texting about this the other day. Like, I used to think when she was with Pete, I used to think that she was, like, so gorgeous. Like, I was like, oh, I totally get it. Like, I get why everyone's obsessed with Ariana Grande. Like, she's beautiful. She's got this whole, small girl vibe going. And now I just, like, I look at her and I'm like, ugh, like, no way. Like, I don't even find her remotely attractive anymore. I don't know if it's, all of the just kind of sleaziness with going after married men or going after guys in relationships, or if it was just like a fad all along. But yeah, she's got a big shiny little forehead. She's all forehead.
Yeah, all forehead.
Forehead and ponytail.
Five
forehead and ponytail.
heads not enough for it. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 head.
And it's like,
so,
isn't it like something with her hair where like it's like so pulled back that like any girl that like tries to do her hairstyle is like, my forehead is gonna fucking explode.
Yeah, and I think that's also just with people that do ballet and stuff like that. Like, anybody that has to pull their hair back that tight, it definitely hurts. And pretty sure Ariana Grande even came out and said that, like, the first couple times she did it, like, she had to get used to the pain and her scalp would literally be, like, sore from doing it. But that's her thing.
That sounds
really she's just not really, like, I just, and again, maybe people will disagree, but I just don't really think she's relevant right now. Like, she's relevant because people are talking about this as sort of a baby scandal. But, like, she's not relevant anymore. She had her days, and I just don't think she's going to come back.
Well, her music's still relevant, is it not?
Yeah, no. No. I mean, people are always going to listen to her music because she's so talented. But I mean, as far as, like, when I say relevant, I guess I mean, like, she's just not in the news. Like, people aren't, like, talking about her. It's not like anyone's like, oh, my God, this amazing new release by Ariana Grande. Like, I haven't even heard about a new song that people have been talking about, so maybe she's working on an album. Who knows? I'm just
hating. Maybe.
I think she could really. It's Saturday, by the way, guys.
Yeah,
it's crazy. This is our first. I meant to mention that this is our first Saturday episode, and it feels great.
I know this is the first Saturday in a while, but where I haven't cracked a beer by 12:15. So
yeah,
I'm here for y'all. I'm drinking coffee.
You could have cracked a beer for the episode.
Nah, I'm not there yet. Maybe one. Like, one's not really gonna do much, but like, especially like the UAP
You're wasted
episode.
by the end.
Yeah,
That's actually a good idea, dude. We should, when we, like, a couple episodes in, we should, like, get a couple IPAs, get a couple hazies. We both get a 6-pack of hazies and just see what comes out by the end of the episode.
Oh, my God. That would be such a disaster.
I think it would be fun.
Oh, my God. We would really have to taper the subjects to be, like, the most lighthearted ones at the end and, like, the more detail-oriented ones at the start.
Yeah.
Because, like, or maybe it'd be funnier to do the other way. Like, I'm, like, 3 IPAs deep, and I'm like, all right, so Ryan Graves was a pilot in the Navy, and in 2014, he witnessed a UAP flying. Like, that would make it so much harder to get that story correct.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I'd be slurring. I think that's my first symptom of being drunk. Like, my mind doesn't go first. It's the, what do they call these? Not textile. You're like mobile. Your mobile functions
your mobile
or whatever.
Skills. Yeah,
your mobile skills. My motor function There we
Motor.
go.
Yeah,
We
not
got there.
mobile. We got there.
Oh my god, that's such a millennial thing to say. My mobile skills. No, my motor skills.
You just
are
turn. You just turn
typically-
into Mitch. You just turn into Mitch McConnell after 4 IPAs. You're just standing there.
Yeah, I'm just standing there. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's just jump straight into it. Let's talk about the aliens.
Okay, so, I think we might be doomed a little bit. I said this last week, but I think a little bit more also because quite literally, like, yeah, because the hearing was 3 days ago, I think 4 days ago, it was like a news item, but I swear I saw more people tweeting about Ariana Grande that day than like the government under oath. 3 people.
I rest my case.
It's just like it's really like the government's gotten to a point where, you know, if this was like, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, like they couldn't talk about this stuff this openly. But now there's so much like media out there and there's so much news. It's like, they're like, people aren't going to care.
Right.
It's like, yeah, no one's going to watch this. Like, we can kind of just say whatever we want at this point. And like, even further, like I watched like a good majority of the congressional hearing. It's like 2 hours long. I watched it on like 1.5 speed, but like it had like 500,000 views. It's like,
yeah, that's not that many.
Not that many.
No.
Not really that many. And like the highlights got like maybe 1 million. And it's like there are confirmed more or less. And like, I mean, I can run through some notes I took on it. Like, I mean, there's some very interesting quotes.
Well, my first initial thought is like, do you think it's because there's so many just non-believers out there?
It's part
people that are just like nope. People that are just like no. Like there's just people out there that I think with the whole alien issue, like no matter what they are shown, they're not going to believe in it. And so they're like, I'm not watching that because I foundationally as a human being don't believe in that. Like I think there's a lot of people out there on that side of the alien argument, and maybe that's why the views were so low.
It could be. I think my theory is more that like people like truly our attention spans and our like the way we consume news and consume media is so fucked up now that like
Thanks,
we
TikTok.
have no idea what's important and what's not. I think that's what it is. It's like if you're thrown 50 stories in like a 5-minute span, it's like this, and it's like one of those is aliens are real. You think about it, you're like, wait, what? And then you just go to the next thing. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a good
like,
point.
NFL football is back in a month. Next tweet. Like, okay,
Right.
call like you know, you're like, oh, fucking, you know, Ariana Grande or whatever, you know, oh, it's Shark Week. Hey, Shark Week, guys. You know, I think that's a big part of it. So I can run through some quotes right here from my notes. So this is all officially into the record of Congress. So you'd think this is all true.
It's true.
Yeah, let's just assume it's true. A poll was taken of Americans who believe that the government is hiding information about UA. So so UFOs are unidentified flying objects. That term isn't really used a ton in the hearing, I guess, because it's sort of a loaded term and like you can't really explain like what a lot of the pilots describe isn't necessarily like it kind of is a UFO by definition, but it's a loaded term. You don't really want to like bring in assumptions about aliens or other things if like you just want to talk about that specific thing that you saw. So they say the term UAP, which is unidentified aerial phenomenon. So UAP, not like UAPs, like UAP is how they say it. So
and not UAB as in the University of Alabama Birmingham, like
yes,
I said yesterday when I was texting about this.
Yeah, in a group chat, Kathleen did like a paragraph and usually explained to our friends what was happening. She said UAB, which is fine.
Yeah, people were pissed. I got kicked out of the group chat for misinformation.
Yeah, you gotta you gotta pay us $50 to get back in.
Yeah, I gotta get beat in.
Yeah. Anyway, so a poll was done of Americans asking if they believe that the government was hiding information about UAP. 68% said yes. So I think so more than 2/3 of the population, according to this poll, believe that there is a lot of which honestly seems low because I can give you some other things because So as far as I know, the only 3 official videos from the Pentagon or the U.S. government in any form talking about or showing UAP is 3 videos in 2017 were released. And you've probably I've seen them like a lot. Like it's like radar footage of basically, you can't really like see the ship itself really, but you just see like a moving object, and it's like in black and white, and it's like here, and then it just darts away in like a split second.
Yes.
So there are 171 other uncharacterized UAP reports that have not been released to the public. A big part of this hearing was the idea of transparency and saying like, hey, we've covered this up for so long. And the reason why they've said they've covered it up is it's mostly the intelligence community. It's mostly, we don't want, if we talk about these things, it shows a vulnerability with us. Like the Chinese balloon incident was cited as like, that was technically a UAP or a UFO, and so we weren't really prepared for that.
Right.
So the ships were described as, you have them here. God. Sorry.
No, you're good.
They are, they describe the ships as black cubes or spheres surrounded by a white, it's a cube surrounded by a white sphere, right? Mm-hmm. It's like a dark cube surrounded by a white sphere, like a saucer, about 5 to 15 feet in length. The big headline that a lot of people saw was, oh my God, the intelligence guy, he said under oath that we have discovered non-human biologics, and that we have recovered spacecrafts. And the big thing with his, the reason why this hearing even happened was about a month ago. This guy did an interview on like some news station talking about this, and he talked about that. And the other thing that he mainly talked about was how there's a secret government or agency with a classified budget, and that's brought up in the hearing too. We have no idea how much money's going into this,
right?
But their job is essentially to recover and examine UFOs and UAP. So,
and they also had cadavers, right? Like that's what you said too when you said like alien parts or whatever. Like they admitted to having like cadavers as well. So they have like either full bodies or like pieces of non-human, but like what do they even call those? They're not. They're not classified as animals. Like literally like alien cadavers, like alien bodies.
I think the exact quote is non-human biologics. So it could be like limbs. It could be a small body part, and it could be really anything. Yeah.
So what I think is so cool about this, and really what sells me. I mean, I've always been a believer in aliens because I just don't buy into the fact that we're the only, intelligent creatures that exist. Like the galaxies are just so big and space is just so big. I just can't buy into the fact that we're that special and that we're like the only living things. I'll never buy into that. Sure. But what really sells this for me, and I listen to the whole High Strange podcast, which is just how I learned about this. And one of the guys that's in this congressional hearing or whatever talks in that podcast. And almost all of the stories that I've heard, you hear like the stories from civilians as well. And it's like, you want to believe those, but those are also hard because most of the time they're far away and they see them from towns. The stories that are legit are the military stories where these people are on military bases or they're in military areas where there's not like a lot of civilization around. There's not buildings, there's not distractions, and they see this stuff like up close and personal. And every single time they describe it, they're always described as either spheres or cubes, or I've heard a story that was like little triangle shapes. They're always described as having like extremely like smooth surfaces and made out of materials that aren't recognizable, that like you would look at it and be like, what material is this made out of? They've also talked about them having like inscriptions on the sides that are, it's a language or it's groupings of characteristics or symbols that are non-human. Like they don't exist. They're not in any languages or anything like that. That is the type of stuff, like when I imagine what they're talking about at this congressional hearing, like that's what I picture in my head, because those are the stories that I've heard that I've been like, I absolutely believe that. And I've always said this, and this goes down to just outside of aliens, but ghost stories in general. Like, one second. Sorry, my mouth is so dry this morning. I've always been like, when you have a podcast like Radio Rental or any podcast that has someone that comes on and tells their story and they don't give their name and they don't give any information about themselves, literally, what is the point of going and doing something like that and telling a lie or telling a fake story? Like, you're not getting any fame. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows your name. So, like, I always believe those stories because what do these people have to gain from making up this insanely crazy story about how they saw this cube or they saw, like, what, like, literally, what do you have to gain? So, anyway, long story short, I believe all of it, and the ships definitely are like these little cubes and little, whatever. Another thing about it is that they don't, and I think this also goes to why they don't call them UFOs anymore, unidentified flying objects. In a lot of these cases, like the military aviation people talk about seeing these things and they're like, from the human eye, like this is impossible to fly. Like there's no way that this thing can fly. So it's like, how can we call this an unidentified flying object when there's no wings, there's no propeller, there's no source of gas, there's no air that's coming out of it. Like it's essentially just has its own orb of gravity around it, and that's how they fly. And I think that's what they're talking about when they say, we don't understand this. Like, we don't understand how these ships are creating their own gravity field and are able to fly without normal things that you need for flight to be possible. Okay,
Totally.
I'm gonna step off my pedestal. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that because it reminded me of two things that I was gonna say that I didn't have written down, but I wanted to say. The first one, Ryan Graves is one of the guys who testified. Or, again, we talked about this before. Whatever, who spoke. I'll just say that. Who spoke under oath. I don't think it's officially testified.
Whatever.
But, so, his story, and they're referred to on the record as Tic Tacs. That's, like, the term they use is, like, like these little white, they're described as, like, little dark spheres with, like, surrounded by a white circle. But sometimes on radar, they only see the white. And that's, like, the most distinctive feature. So they call them Tic Tacs. So, from Graves' perspective, and this is his opening statement. He said in 2014 he was working at the Naval Air Base in Virginia Beach, and they got their radar systems improved. They got like the latest version of their radars, and immediately they started detecting unknown objects flying in their airspace, and it was indescribable. It popped up constantly, and between the radar and the actual pilots, the sighting of UAP became so frequent that it was actually brought up like in their pre-flight briefings. So it's like, all right, guys, we're gonna do some practice today. 10 mile an hour winds, and you might see an alien. All right, you ready to go?
Watch out for the Tic Tacs. They're like, Tic Tacs? It's like,
they're like, yeah. There's like this little 5 to 15 foot Tic Tac flying around that can go like 5 million miles a second. And so just don't crash into it, please. Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you.
Well, and didn't they also say that what they noticed as well is they had at some of these air bases, so they're like training bases, right? So they're going through like different training missions. And all of that stuff is super top secret. So they're not just like telling the world, hey, we're doing this training mission on this day. So one of the situations was they had, and this was like, not the Navy. Who are the air people? Sorry, guys.
Air Force.
Thank you. Air Force. Sorry, Air Force. The Air Force was doing like test missions or whatever. And they said that they had plans to, in this mission, the planes were going to fly to this exact area. That was like a top secret, like classified exercise. And they said that on the radar, the Tic Tac, whatever, literally flew exactly where like the planes were supposed to be heading and just stopped. And they were like, how could these things possibly know that like that's where the planes were flying to in this practice mission? And they just went to the area and literally just like stopped, like almost being like, hey, like, like we're here, like we know you're coming here. So it's definitely real. It's just we literally don't know what to do about it.
Barbie and Oppenheimer, Barbenheimer, if you will.
Oppenheimer.
Dude, they made the poor people at AMC when I went wear those shirts. God,
I've
never seen. Yeah, they were wearing Barbenheimer shirts. It's like the new, it was pink.
It really caught fire.
I know. Yeah. God, I've never so Barbie and Oppenheimer last weekend was the fourth biggest box office opening for a combined weekend ever, the biggest in 4 years since Avengers Endgame. like I think we all like I had a quote from I think last week or 2 weeks ago where I said, "Wouldn't it be funny if Barbie outsold Oppenheimer?" Well,
Yes, you said that.
probably not like that crazy in retrospect, just because it's PG and R, and it's like
And you have the kids.
It doubled it.
Wow.
It more than doubled it. Yeah, I have the numbers right here. It did $162 million domestically,
That's crazy.
and Oppenheimer did 82. So.
What are
Wild.
like the Harry Potter? What is Harry Potter like $500 million probably?
The later ones probably are.
Yeah. I'm
I
just
would
trying to
say-
think what else is in like the triple, like the 100 millions and up.
It's truly like Marvel movies and like the very, very occasional like not even like Tarantino does that much because all his movies are R. Like it's really like Marvel's like of the last like 10 years, it's just like the big Marvel movies essentially.
I mean,
and then
they
like
deserve
maybe
it.
one or two other little like the so the Super Mario Brothers movie was actually a fucking smash. That's the biggest movie of the year.
I heard it was a good movie. I didn't see it, but dang.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna look it up really quick. Because Barbie had the second biggest opening of the year. Mario was first. Let me find what it was. It opened. Oh my God, why is this? All right, never mind. Well, it's okay. It made like 1.3 billion.
Mario?
Yeah.
Wait,
On a $100 million budget.
and how much did Barbie make? Well, I guess we don't know how much Barbie's made yet. You just talking about on opening day, it made 162 million.
Opening weekend.
Opening weekend. Dang.
356 million globally opening weekend. Barbie.
Wow.
Yeah. Wild.
That's wild. Jinx.
Yeah. And yeah, 68% female audience for Barbie. If you take out girls bringing their boyfriends, that's probably about 85.
Yeah, definitely.
64% male for Oppenheimer. Thought it'd be higher, honestly. I guess the girlies like history too.
Bitches love
You
their
know?
bombs.
I mean, Cillian Murphy is kind of like
It's all Cillian Murphy.
so funny. Like he's so like he's like so weird and such a nerd in the movie, but they just go out of their way to talk about how he's like a womanizer and he's just super slick with women. It's like, how? What? Like, what do you? You're a nuclear scientist.
But I think that's true about Oppenheimer. Oppie. I think he was a bit of a woman. I mean, because Florence Pugh's character was really his mistress. Well, she wasn't really his mistress though. It was more so like he was dating both of them at the same time, and one of them got pregnant, and because of the times, he was like, I gotta marry her. So see ya.
It's got to be the jawline, right?
No, I think it's the eyes. It's the eyes. It's all in the eyes. Like literally, like what's her name? John Krasinski's wife, Emily Blunt, is like quoted for comparing his eyes to Billie Eilish's Ocean Eyes. That song, like her like super and I think it's like the cheekbones, and even Christopher Nolan, like in an interview, says like when he cast Cillian Murphy in Batman's Begin, which. So happy to announce, not really, but me and Sam are doing all of the Batman movies this weekend. So last night we watched Batman Begins. And who stars in Batman Begins? None other than Cillian Murphy, who we're talking about right now. Anyway, Christopher Nolan in an interview said that when he cast Cillian Murphy for the Batman Begins role, that it was all about like his looks. Like he was like, there was just something about his face and his eyes that I just found like really like intriguing, and I just like to me, and I was thinking about this last night, he has one of those faces, and it's not like you're like, oh my God, he's just insanely hot or attractive or gorgeous. Like, it's not even that. Like, it's not like, like Leonardo DiCaprio or someone like that. It's more so like when he leaves the screen, I'm like, dang, I need more of that. I need him back on. Like, the second, like, the screen pans away from Cillian Murphy, I'm like, dang. I'm like, get back on Cillian. Like, I want to see more Cillian. And that's what Christopher Nolan talks about. He's like, he literally just has a face that you want to watch. And that's kind of how their relationship started. And then he cast him in like every movie he did after that.
Yeah, he almost doesn't look real. He looks like a child's drawing of a man.
Yeah, and I'm sure the girls are going crazy because his wife is like, he's one of those. He's a Steve Carell where he's been like dating he's been with the same woman for forever, and they're like the same age, and she's all right looking, but I was a little shocked when I saw her.
Yeah.
That's mean to say, but he's just a good looking guy, so I gotta say it.
Yeah, what's the thing that like
Dating for
people do where-
personalities.
No, it's like
Oh.
it's like the thing. Not that. No, people don't do that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they do.
It's like that thing that you do where you like bring all of like the liquids from your face and you like push them out and you do this and like you send them
Oh,
down.
like lymphatic drainage.
Lymphatic drainage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of stuff where people are like Cillian Murphy is the lymphatic drainage king.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, because his cheekbones.
Because there's literally like zero excess fat or anything around his entire. It's like kind of wild. But what's even more wild is Oppenheimer looked exactly like that too. He was skinny as a fucking rail.
Well, Cillian Murphy lost a lot of weight for the movie. Like he's definitely like an average guy, like maybe slightly on the slim side, but not even. I mean, I think he's like kind of ripped in Dunkirk, and Peaky Blinders. But yeah, and his cheekbones. It's like the skin is like perfectly stretched across his face, and yeah, he just has one of those faces. He's just like beautiful to look at. I'm trying to think of someone else I feel that way about.
He looks like he's like made by AI. Like he does not look real to me sometimes.
He's Irish, but that means nothing.
Well,
he's Irish.
Yeah, he's Irish. You know.
Yeah, he's Irish. Yeah, he's Irish, man. And he actually says that in an interview. They're like, "What are your favorite drinks?"
Speak on that. He is Irish. Speak on that.
Yeah, guys. So Cillian Murphy's Irish. I don't know if you guys knew, but he's from Ireland, super Irish.
Yeah. He is Irish.
Yeah.
That's true. There's one thing I know about Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, I think Christopher Nolan is actually quoting saying, you know, I hired Cillian Murphy because, you know, he's Irish.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta stop. I'm like
nice.
Getting mad at myself.
Well, the only thing the only other thing I had to say about this was it's really interesting the timing of this because I think a lot of people knew that this was going to be like a really big week. Like I think there's like no way if you're paying attention like anyone thought that Barbie would fail. Like I think everyone knew like with the internet stuff and the cast and how much love it got.
Yeah.
I think and same with Oppenheimer. Yeah, okay. So Haunted Mansion comes out this weekend. And first off, I think it's hilarious. They're releasing like a scary Halloween movie on July 28th. I don't really know what's going on there.
Happy 4th of July. Here's a Halloween movie.
Ooh, spooky. It's like Danny DeVito's running like a haunted mansion. He's like, "Oh, watch your step."
Yeah,
oh,
it's like that ghosts. Nick Cage Dracula movie. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's
Renfield.
Oh, Renfield. Yeah. It's been advertised on my like Vizio home screen. Shout out Vizio. I love my smart TV. But it's been advertised like on my home screen every single morning. I'm like, I'm not watching that. Like I'm never going to watch that.
That's another big flop, I think. I think that movie did really badly too. No, okay. Listen to this. So this movie it's definitely already based on projections, it's definitely going to finish behind Oppenheimer and Barbie in their second weekends. Okay. So it's going to be number 3 already. Not great. $150 million budget. It's projected 25 to 30 opening weekend.
Ooh. I just got chills.
Yeah. So if we go off the marketing budget is about the same as the production budget. They've made back 10% of their money on the opening weekend.
Yeah, that sucks. But it's like, why? And you feel so bad. I think it was Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg or somebody. I saw a clip the other day where they were like, you know, how does it feel when you're in the middle of filming a movie and you realize that it's going to be a terrible movie? Like, it sucks for Danny. But it's like with Danny DeVito and Owen Wilson, like, you got to know up front when you take a movie like that it probably doesn't have a chance. But it's always interesting. I'm like, at what point during filming that did they realize, yeah, this was not a good call? Maybe they don't even care. Maybe it's just like when celebrities do T-Mobile commercials or Smart Water commercials. They're just like, hey, my rent's due. Everybody's rent's due. That's one thing. Everybody's rent is due. Unless you own. Good for you if you own.
We're going to end with a little game. I don't know if this is going to be a recurring segment or not. It worked last week. We'll see. But so last week for Barbie, or well, not for really for Barbie, but for Oppenheimer, I had a game where I challenged ChatGPT to create fake World War II storylines and scenarios that sound real but didn't actually happen. And I gave them to Kathleen. She had to guess if they were real or not. She was unsuccessful in that task, but I will say they were pretty tough to guess.
I got all of them. I got all of them wrong. I got every single one wrong.
You were 100% in being incorrect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but now we're in, it's Kathleen's having a little home game here where the topic is Phish lyrics. So,
Softball.
a little softball for her, a fastball for me, but we'll see. I'm still in the game. So, we have some excerpts from Phish, and we're gonna challenge one another. We're going to go back and forth, and we're going to say the lyrics, and we're going to say if they're real or if they're created by ChatGPT. Kathleen will be keeping score, and the first 1 to 3 wins. What do you win? I don't know, but we'll figure that out. So, Kathleen, if you want to go first.
All right. Lee, you have to tell me if this is a Phish lyric or if ChatGPT created it.
Okay.
He told me that the lizards were a race of people practically extinct for doing things that smart people don't do.
That's real.
Yep. Damn, dude. I knew. Oh, I shouldn't. Was it the name Lizards that got you?
No, it's just like
or are you just a bigger
it's
Phish
just
fan?
so weird. No, it's just weird.
Right.
Like
Correct.
I think what I kind of realized is like the ones that I would put into ChatGPT would be not nearly as like poetic or like it would be kind of weird, but like it wouldn't really fit the vibe of what I'd think they'd say. And so that's the only thing I'm going off of.
Okay.
So,
all right, my turn.
All right. Flying high above the clouds, we soar a journey to places unseen before. On wings of dreams, we take the flight. In this aerial dance, we find delight.
That's wrong. That's not a Phish lyric. ChatGPT.
No. Correct.
All right. Ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding.
correct.
All right. 1 versus 1. That rhymes too much almost.
I think that's what gave it away. Yeah.
I'm going to try to stump you. All right. The slime drips deeper. My thoughts unfold. Lock me up. Strip me down. Tell me I'm not old.
That's fake.
Damn, you're killing this. Yeah, that's fake.
Go.
How much Phish did you listen to before we did this?
0.
All right. 2-1 Lee. Lee's up. First
Absolutely
to 3.
0. Okay.
I'm
Here
getting
we go.
nervous. I got to stump him. Okay.
In the years that followed, memories not swallowed, we honor those we've lost, our souls embossed. Their spirits in the sky, guiding us to try to bridge the gaps that lie and never ask why.
That's ChatGPT.
Yeah, that was way too many rhymes.
Way too many rhymes. Way too many rhymes.
Yeah.
Way too many rhymes. That one was
Damn it.
easy.
Okay.
All right, 2-2. We might have to do
shouldn't
best of 5.
I shouldn't have used that one. It's fine.
It's okay. We might have to do best of 5.
Okay.
All right. Who would have thought it? That's where I am. No future at all. Don't sweat it. That's where I am.
Fake.
Nope, that's real.
Damn.
Don't sweat it. That's where I am. No future at all. Yeah. AC/DC bag.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
One of my favorite songs. All right, cool. 2-2 still.
All right. Through the pain may never... sorry. Sorry. In the halls of power, a man arose with golden hair and a deal maker's prose. He walked the stage, a business tycoon. The world would soon hear the trumpet's tune.
That one's a little bit harder, but no, I think that's ChatGPT.
Correct. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, I made
Okay.
it to 3. Do we need to go to 5? Or do we stop?
No,
at 3?
I think you won. I think the
right,
point's
hell yeah.
made. Good segment.
yeah.
You won. I put up a fight.
We'll do it
Okay.
again in a couple of weeks because I have like 30 different examples that are really funny. We need
Yeah.
to do it with We need to do it with like Jake or someone like that. I mean, he would get every single one though.
Yeah, he would get every single one because he like
That's funny.
he knows the lyrics. Can I just say
He knows
like
everything.
the can I just say like I had a lot of fun as well creating the scenarios. So can I just give you some of the prompts that I gave to get those?
Yeah, sure.
So the first one was, and I didn't use any of these because it was too obvious in retrospect. But I said, write me a Phish song about gin, and it wrote me. I'll read you the chorus it wrote me.
Okay.
Gin, oh gin, the nectar divine. In the heart of the night, you make us shine. With juniper's kiss, you set us free. In this cosmic dance, we find harmony.
Yeah, like it rhymes. Okay, so when I was doing this too, and I used the song Cavern, I was like, take the Phish song Cavern, because like one of the lyrics I wrote down for you to guess, which I should have had you, is it's deduct the carrots from your pay, you worthless swampy fool. Would you have thought that was Phish or ChatGPT?
Probably real. Probably Phish.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So that's from the song Cavern, and so I told ChatGPT, I was like, take the Phish song Cavern and make me fake Phish lyrics. And so the ones that I did was like a combination of ChatGPT and then me tweaking it because they just rhymed too much. So
Yeah.
like,
I
and
should've
that's
done
why.
that.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I mean, I'm confident. I feel like I would get it no matter what. Like I don't know all the lyrics to every single song, but I feel like I would recognize lyrics versus non-lyrics. But it's a funny segment. We got to find something else to do that with.
Yeah, there's a lot
Something
of stuff we
that
can do with this.
Yeah.
Can I
But it
just
also
say really
goes to show, like, ChatGPT isn't as smart as you think it is. Like, even when you tell it over and over again, I'm like, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. I'm literally like idiot sandwich out here. You know that, what is it?
Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay? Yeah, like, I'm literally
Yeah.
like, thank you, ChatGPT, but that's not good enough. I'm having
like-
ChatGPT sweating.
You're like J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. You're just like, not quite my tempo.
Yeah, not quite my tempo. Yeah,
Not
that
quite my
movie's
tempo.
crazy.
Oh my God. Talk about a panic attack. Can I just say
Yeah.
really quick too? The other, I have like 4 or 5 prompts I gave it, but I think so the lyrics that I read you, the last ones, in the halls of power, a man arose with golden hair and a deal maker's prose. He walked the stage, a business tycoon. The world would soon hear the trumpet's tune. Can you guess what the prompt was that I gave it? Fucking fly around me. What was the prompt I gave it?
Like a guy that has like a corporate job that loves fish.
I said, write me a Phish song praising Donald Trump. And that's what it gave me. I thought that would be a funny like contrast.
Wait, read it again.
I can read you the whole song if you want. I have it here. The
Yeah,
chorus
me too.
is hilarious. Sorry. There's a fly
So
on
this
me.
is ChatGPT writing a Phish song about Donald Trump.
Specifically praising Donald Trump. I wanted to see like what Phish lyrics looked like if it was like if they were like like patriots, like they loved America and like
QAnon.
yeah, sure. It's something like that.
QAnon Phish.
Oh, Donald Trump, a leader bold and strong. With a vision, he marched us along. Through the highs and lows, he stood tall. In this Phish song, we praise the Trump wall. Terrible.
Oh my god.
Terrible,
Damn, it
right?
got topical. It got topical.
So-
Okay, keep going.
Verse 2. He spoke his mind, no filter to find. A firebrand who left no doubts behind. He shook the system, disrupted the norm. A political storm, a thunderous swarm. Oh, Donald Trump, a leader bold and strong. With a vision, I'm not going to do the rest, but you get the
A
point.
political storm, a thunderous swarm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see it
It's
happening.
like have you seen that video of the guy? He's like on Instagram Live or something, and he got pulled over, and there's cops like at his door with like a gun to his head and like his windows up, and he's like this. He's like, Donald Trump, please save me, Donald Trump. you ever seen that? That's what it reminds me of.
No,
the
I haven't
chorus.
seen that. Oh my god.
Please, Donald Trump, please save me, as he's like about to get
Yeah.
arrested. Yeah.
No, that sounds funny though. Yeah, ChatGPT isn't as smart as we think it is. Like seriously.
Well, the new version of it's about to come out pretty soon. So it's about
I
to
bet
get
you have to pay
a
for
lot
it.
crazier.
And I bet you're gonna have to
Probably.
pay for it.
Probably. That's life though. All right.
All right.
Well, I think we should wrap up. That was a good episode.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So, thank you guys for listening. Please, if you're watching on the YouTube, please consider, if you liked the episode, liking and subscribing to the YouTube page. And leaving a comment if you feel so inclined. If you're listening on Spotify, we'd really appreciate a 5-star review. It's just on the top of the screen there. If you've listened for more than like a minute or two, it'll let you throw a 5-star on there, and that'd be really appreciated. If you guys want to follow our Instagram and our TikTok, it's at the Leen Show. We post clips throughout the week there, and we're getting some good traction on both of those pages. Things are going pretty well. I'm happy with where they're going. And you know, we're just here to make more content for you guys and just get better at it as we go.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we got over 100 listens on Spotify, so thanks everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
And if you want us to talk about anything specific, just email it to us and we'll consider it. Maybe we'll put it in a bowl and choose.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then you're not just gonna like covertly email yourself like, can we talk about Phish for an hour straight?
Oh my gosh.
Can we rank
You're
our
like, all of
25
the
favorite
emails-
Phish performances?
You're like, all of the emails are coming from this really weird email address, fishlover666@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Our number one
so
fan.
Weird.
I create like our number one like Uber fan, like Mandy from iCarly. I create our Mandy and I just like flood our pages and hype us up, and then I stage this whole thing where like we are supposed to meet the biggest fan and it's me the whole time, and we like fly somewhere and it's this big deal and it's a crazy story, and it turns out it was me the whole time.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, that'd be
We're gonna cut that because we're gonna do that.
Aw. That's
So
fucked.
that's a great idea.
You got
All right.
cut.
You got cut.
We should do that.
Can we just hire like
If
a
we
middle
ever
schooler
have-
to act like our biggest fan?
No. I was saying if we ever have like a guest on and they say something, we should be like, you got cut. Like, you know what I mean? Like if they say something, we're like, yeah, you can't say that.
Or what if like we bring in like one of our friends as a guest, and then like the second they like stutter or say something incorrect, they just get kicked off the Zoom immediately.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, never mind. That didn't work. No guest this week. Just me and Kathleen.
Oh my God. We bring one of our friends onto the podcast and then we just kill them.
Yeah, like through the screen, like that one horror movie where it's like the murder, like they're all on Skype together. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's
Wait,
called,
does that
like,
actually happen?
It's called like Unfriended, I think. It's like really, really bad. But like they're all on Skype and they're like, oh my God, Mandy just got murdered. And then it's like 5 people on Skype, 4 people on Skype, and they're just slowly getting murdered while on Skype together.
That sounds like a COVID movie.
It was before COVID,
Oh,
weirdly.
okay.
It was like 2017 or something. I saw it in theaters.
Well, there
really
were
bad.
there were always those random, like, it was like the last season of Shameless and those random movies that were like, yeah, we're going to wear masks. You know, they were like, we're going to portray COVID when it happened.
Yeah.
And like they like actually wore masks on camera. It's like, dude, like, ugh, we don't want to relive it. Like, we knew it happened. We want to see you maskless.
Agreed. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next Sunday. Thank you to Glazed Eyes for letting us use their single Way Down as our intro and outro, as always. And play us out. Have a good one, guys.